quarterback Lamar Jackson of the now 1-3 Ravens could miss 2 to 3 weeks with the hamstring injury that he suffered on Sunday in Kansas City. As we reported on Sunday night, real time, I was getting the text while I was on the air pointing out that because nobody's saying anything officially, there's a chance it's not good. He felt a grab. It's a strain. And anybody who's ever had a hamstring injury, and I had one in 1992, back when I used to be active. I'm active now. I ride a bike, but you ride a bike, you don't get injured. When you're out doing things, playing basketball, two-hand touch football, etc., you can pull some muscles. And you think your hamstring's healed, and then you find out it isn't. When you think it is, you find out it isn't. It always needs more time than whatever time you give it. So 2 to 3 weeks he could miss. We'll see how long he does miss. And I mentioned this yesterday with Devin McCourty. We need to rewind to 2021 and 2020. No, 21 and 22. Lamar Jackson got his contract in 2023, drafted in 2018, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 was his fifth-year option year. And those last 2 years, that's when the Ravens and Jackson were in active contract talks, but they couldn't get anywhere, in part because he doesn't have an agent. And that's fine. That's his business. At the end of the day, it worked out well for him, but he did continue to expose himself to injury until he got the financial security that the Ravens were trying to give him, but they couldn't get it worked out. They finally did. But here we are. He's got 2 years left after this year. And he's not at the top of the market anymore. And you get a hamstring injury that could become aggravated if you come back too early. Strain can become a tear. He relies upon the speed and explosiveness to get away from the pass rush and get down the field. There's nothing wrong with a player saying, I'm not going to go out there until I am 100%. If we had any doubt about that, look at what happened to Tyreek Hill on Monday night. You need to be able to protect yourself. You need to be able to move your body in a way that avoids taking a hit that could otherwise cause you to have a serious injury, or putting yourself in a position that, because the turf grabs your cleat, causes you to have a serious injury. You have every right as the player to insist on being 100% before you play. And when you're ticking toward the end of a contract, and when you've been actively negotiating with the team and the team hasn't been willing to meet whatever demands you have made, it's one of the few leverage points players have. And players don't make big money for very long in their careers. The Tyreek Hill case is the prime example of it. Get what you can while you can. My point is this. Lamar Jackson may wait a week or two beyond when he otherwise would be able to return not 100%. And that is part of the reality I think the Ravens are now slipping into until there is another contract with Lamar Jackson, if there is one. No guarantee there will be one, because this time around they won't have, as a practical matter, the option of the franchise tag, because it'll be an exorbitant number north of $80 million based upon what his franchise tag will be. It may be north of $100 million. It's a huge number. It's a number that the Ravens are unlikely to invest for one more year with Lamar Jackson when 2028 rolls around. So that's the subtext here that we need to keep an eye on. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play on Sunday against the Houston Texans, Cooper Rush is expected to get the start, but they have on the practice squad Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley, who has started 14 games, 9 with the Ravens. Rush has started some games in Dallas and has done well. I've been surprised in the past, the first time Rush became a free agent, that no one gave him an opportunity to compete to be a starter, because he acquitted himself well when he played. So they do have a couple of options. As I wrote last night and may have mentioned yesterday, I think I did, Shedeur Sanders in hindsight probably shouldn't have said no to the Ravens. First of all, the Ravens are a better organization than the Browns, and I'm sorry, Browns, but look at the track record, look at the history, and the Ravens used to be the Browns, which only makes it worse. But Shedeur Sanders could have learned from watching and interacting with Lamar Jackson. Shedeur Sanders could have developed quietly, and as soon as week 5 would have been playing, assuming he beat out Cooper Rush. Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. He didn't beat out Dylan Gabriel or Joe Flacco, so who knows? But probably at some level, if Shedeur Sanders or his dad Dion were being completely frank and candid, they would say, given what's happened in Cleveland, where he's mired as number 3 on the depth chart, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have said no to the Baltimore Ravens. But time will tell if and when we see Lamar Jackson in the near future. A couple of weeks could be missed, and the Ravens desperately need him because they're 1-3. And without Lamar Jackson, the chances of winning go down. And if they start losing games, you're going to have greater urgency to get him back. That's when the fans and maybe some in the media will start suggesting he's malingering. That was a thing in 20 and 21. That was an issue. People thought that he could have played and he was choosing not to. Again, don't play until you're 100%. If you are trying to get financial security that you currently don't have, and if you are good enough. You know, for some players, you got to go out there and play, or they're going to replace you with someone else. It's one of the harsh realities of the business. I got to play. I'm only 80%, but if I don't play, I'm going to be 0% because my backup's going to play, and then they're going to realize I cost too much and they're going to get rid of me. It's a harsh, unforgiving business. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.